In this video, we're going to look at how to save your output to device settings in Eurosystems OptiScout 9. So normally what I do is I'll open up a file. If I need to set the settings up for registration mark output, I'll open up a file with registration marks in there. But first we'll do it without. So I'm just going to set a little job up just like that. So there's my job. Now to do this, we could do it a couple of different ways. So I normally go to settings, standard settings, and then I'll go output parameters. And then that will open this box here, which looks like your output to device box. So we need to look at a couple of different things. So the device is always going to be CMYUK TB series. The mode is going to be output with layer assignment. And then our output profile is either going to be standard or roll. So this is going to be for our standard settings. So the first thing I need to check is that our table width is correct, which it is 1600, table length 2500. Then we've got our material. Now at the moment it says it's on a roll, which it needs to be on manually. So what that means is that you're going to be replacing the sheets on the table manually. So you'll put one sheet on, you'll then cut that, you'll take that sheet off manually and put another sheet on. You'll see that when I change that to manually there, it changes this here to no feed over feed. Then we've got our part position, which we leave as it is, segmentation, leave as it is, and the rest of them left as they are there. You can see that we've got our number of jobs or copies of jobs. So if you wanted to, you can create another preset by going to manage profiles and press add, and you could have this for set up for different amounts of copies or spacings or anything like that. I've got it set at only output tool assigned layers, so that means that it would only output a layer if it has a correct tool assigned to it. Doesn't matter what tool it is, but as long as it has a tool assigned to it. And I also select this one here that says send design relative to origin. So that means that if my job is 10 mil away from our origin in the corner here, it will send our job 10 mil away from our temporary origin setup on our CMYUK cutter. So the next thing I look at is my sort options. So I always make sure that I've got sort before output on. That one is critical, especially when we're routing. That will ensure that holes internal to our cut line are done first if they're on the same layer. So we'll do the internal cut lines and then we'll do the external cut lines if they're on the same layer. I've got always prefer job order. And we can also say search for best sort method, or we can then set it to use the sort options, which we can go through these, and we can choose different styles of sorting. I'm going to press OK. Now to save that, I'm going to go Manage Profiles, Save Profile, and then I'm going to press Save. And that is set up now for no registration marks. Now if I want to set it up with registration marks, I need to import a job with reg marks. So File Import, find my file. There we go, I can see my reg marks. Now if I do the same thing, so settings, standard settings, output parameters, we can now see that we've got all of our parameters for our registration mark output. So at the top here on the output, very much the same. So roll, standard. So let's look at standard first. So 1600, 2500. Then we've got our production mode. So we're in manual production or production. Manual production means that it's not going to, when you press go, it's not going to bring the head to the origin position automatically. And if it was to find a reg mark, it wouldn't automatically send the job off. So this is where we have full control over the output. Then production means that once you've done the first copy, it will shoot the head to where the first registration mark was, and then it will start then cutting straight away without you having to do anything. So I'm going to leave mine on production. Material again is manually because we're on standard. Number of copies, I can leave all of those as they are. And then I'm going to ensure that my compensation method is correct. So we either use best fit or fit to job smart compensation. And that's about it on those settings. And again, the same settings on the side here. So only output tool assigned layers. It doesn't matter about the design relative to origin because we're now using registration marks, and we're making sure it's on sort before output as well. So I can go into here, go save profile. Go. And I can also do the same for roll as well. So I check my setup. I normally make my table a little bit smaller on roll, and that helps with the segmentation of the job. So 100 mil smaller. It's on roll, which means that we will see down here it says feed, so it means it's going to feed the next part of the job onto the table. And we've got our registration mark compensation set up correctly, and that's all ready to go. So manage profiles, save profile, and then save at the bottom. So that is our output to device settings saved so that they're always going to be the same and sorted within OptiScout Production 9.